My favorite football team, I've got a couple of favorite football teams. Like
the first one.
Okay, the first one that actually comes to my mind is something that I catch every 4 years once during the World Cup, and that's Brazil.
Brazil.
And if you talk about playing the Premier League and stuff like that, I've got a couple of teams that I support. I'm not biased about which team is the best. You know, some people go crazy, you know, they are this and that. But I support, I watch Chelsea, I watch Liverpool, I watch Manchester United, Manchester City. I've just got a few. Okay, if I can remember, one of the first World Cups that I actually followed, like really all into it, was in '94. I was in Form 4, so that was in 1994. And I can remember when Brazil won the World Cup. I mean, everyone was talking about Brazil that time, you know, because I think it was that first time, the first season, if I'm not wrong, they actually had new faces from compared to because the team that played for the World Cup before that actually retired, so they had a lot of new faces in '94 World Cup. So I could remember because everyone in school were talking about it. They had the fever. Everyone's like, "Is Brazil going to make it? Brazil going to do it?"
All about Brazil.
Yeah, everything about Brazil. The best memory for this team was actually watching the finals in '94 when Brazil played against Italy and they won. Oh, yeah, they won that, and I remember skipping school in the morning. So because the game was like highlight here, in like, you know, in very early part of the morning. So I had to miss school. No, I had an MC given to the school.
Really?
Yeah, I got away. Actually, half the school were not there. Yeah, I mean,
because of Brazil?
Yeah. I think it happened in 2002 when South Korea couldn't cross the quarterfinals. It's very disappointing because, I mean, could feel the fever at the time because everyone was like hoping that the first Asian team will actually get into the semi-finals or even make it to the finals because they had this whole big impact that they made on to the world, you know, like showing that Asians, because after that time you actually saw a lot of Korean players actually playing for the Premier League, and I think there was actually a big start for Asian football, and I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I felt they could have done better. Yeah, I was frustrated that because everyone was hoping they will actually make it, but it's good because at that one time I could see that all Asians are united looking at one team to actually make it. Yeah. I still like watching Ronaldinho play.
Okay.
Right?
And why is that?
Because the thing is that from where he started, like, you know, the guy evolved from the Brazil team. I actually felt Ronaldinho much when I actually went to Barcelona in 2002. You know, because he plays for the Barcelona Football Club. And when I was there, I didn't get to watch the game, but I was actually outside the stadium with a couple of friends. And I think Barcelona was playing with AC Milan at that time. It's in 2004, 2005. Yeah, it was around that. And you know, I can tell you something, it's like not what you just watch on football. I was just outside the stadium, but you can hear the people scream in there. Wow. And you know, it was nice actually like knowing for a fact that the teams are playing in there and the whole world is watching it, and I'm sure that so many Malaysians were watching it. It was a huge game, and even at that time when I was in Barcelona, there was a club that I went to, and Ronaldinho actually owns the club. It's called Bara in Barcelona. And it faces the Mediterranean Sea, and that club belongs to him. And as you walk into the club, you actually find a huge statue of him made of wax, and he owns the club. And when lucky days you are there, you actually get a photo taken with him. So you have this huge wall of fame. No, he wasn't there, but I just took a photo with the wax.
Can I see it?
I don't carry it around. No, but that was a cool experience. Yeah. Okay, if you ask me, I mean, I watch football here and there, and I think it's most of the time. It's just not the manager or the coach or the team or whichever it is, right? I think it's about individual. Individual has to know what they're doing. You know, when you watch football games, when I watch football games, I like hearing the commentators, what they say, and after watching the game, you have the people who actually review the games. And then at that point of time, I actually start understanding, wow, football game has got so many insights that, you know, you actually look into. It's just not about the formation of the team. When before even the game starts, you have the team manager or even the coach coming and saying, okay, you guys here, you guys there, and this and that. And then in between the game, you have people getting changed, people being brought out, new team coming in. So end of the day, I think it's about the team spirit because that is very important, because at times you see the most important thing, you see some players being very selfish. Okay,
Talk about greed.
Yeah, that one I've definitely seen, because football has become such an event that everyone wants to be a star, everyone wants to be a celebrity, and they actually forget what is the whole ground of football, you know, which is the team spirit, winning the game. You know, people want to be highlighted for various reasons when they start forgetting that the reason they are there is because of the fans, because of the people who have been following them for years. People who go watch their game and stuff like that. So I think it's just not about one person doing their part, but I think it's everything coming together. I wouldn't say that money cannot buy success, but money. It depends what you want to buy. Okay, for example, sometimes if you have a team who has got the amount of money to actually buy a player, they are actually buying a talent. So I don't think so there's anything wrong in that. I mean, because that's how competition is, right? You have money, you invest to improve, to get better. So I think that's what the football industry is all about. You invest money on talents that you believe will do great for your team. And like for example, let's take Beckham. The team that bought Beckham out of Manchester United, and Beckham did not perform as amazing as how he performed for Manchester United. So now in that part, who do you blame? Do you blame the manager for making a wrong choice, or do you blame the player because he's getting old?
You can't blame anyone.
You can't blame anyone. I mean, one of the best experiences, like when you used to be in school, you have like this school having competition with this school. So no doubt that education is not to our mind, like, we want to compete in education. That the school does, the teachers does that. But when students, okay, we go compete like a football, hockey, cricket, all these games were like, it was our shield, and we had to be better than it was our reputation. So I think St. John's, which is the school which I come from, I like to speak about my school, I think they created a lot of stars in sports, and I think that football was something that was involved in everyone's life, because every time when you have, Pendidikan Jasmani, and, you go out to have sports with friends, football was one of the games that everyone played. No doubt I can remember right from standard 1, the first day I was in school, all the way till today. It's about football and football and football, right? And one of my best experience, I think, is when my school class, at that time, were memorable moments when we actually lost badly to every other class.
Oh, really?
It was in between classes and we lost. It was quite fun because at that time I could actually see, all the students were like, they had one goal to go for. They wanted to be the best among all the classes, and I mean, I think that was one of the moments that I can still remember. Friends, the boots and the socks. I'm working on the new album. It's my 4th album. The new album is pretty cool because it's something that you see, every time an artist says this is something that I really wanted to do, but this is not, I wouldn't say this is something that I really wanted to do. This is something that I had to do.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, this album now, it's called International Curfew.
Okay.
And this album, when I grew up doing reggae music, and it was back in 1990s, and I was actually growing up listening to people like Dr. Alban and Apache Indian, Shaggy, Dinah King and stuff, and artists like that. And at that time, when I was a kid, I had a lot of friends who were into music, grew up listening to, MC Hammer, All for One, and, all the R&B hip-hop artists. I was the only one that was so driven into this old pop reggae music culture. Even when growing into the industry, I see that I'm the only one that, as like really doing it quite seriously. And following up from my last album, I did a song with Apache Indian. And this new album is pretty interesting because the person that I actually listened to, Dr. Alban, like back in the 90s, I actually went to Sweden last year, and I did a song with him.
With him?
Yeah, with him. And then I've just recorded a song with Dinah King.
With her?
With her, yeah.
Okay,
a track called Island Queen, and a song with Dr. Alban called Music in Me. So this album is called International Curfew. You see, I love collaborations. So I work, like, we've got a song with Jacqueline Victor, and she's singing in Tamil. You can always have, everyone's got talent, so you have to have faith and hope in people and believe in them. I mean, she's good. She's a good singer. She's my old friend, and we finally found an opportunity to work on a track. So this is the album. I think that everyone should actually listen to this. There's more surprises to it, and I'm sure that we will turn out to be something really incredible. Hopefully.
You show us some techniques.
What, football?
Yes.
Can? Now catch. Gua gila bola.
Kaki bola.
Oh, kaki bola, yeah.
Kaki bola.
Okay.
Gua kaki bola.